Hello and a very warm welcome to you. I'm so incredibly happy you're here today. If you're just starting your journey with the English language, you are in the exact right place. Today, we're going to learn the absolute essential words and phrases you need for school, or really any learning environment. I'll be your teacher, and I'm going to speak slowly and clearly so you can practice right along with me. Okay, let's dive into this explainer and begin our lesson together. Here is our lesson plan on the chalkboard for today. First, greetings and basic introductions. Second, essential classroom objects. Third, asking helpful classroom questions. And finally, teacher instructions and farewells. Let's get started. Section 1. Greetings and basic introductions. Saying hello and making friends. Imagine you're walking through the classroom doors for the very first time. Setting a positive tone starts with a proper greeting, right? It's literally the very first step in making new friends and feeling comfortable in your new school. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how our English greetings change with the clock. Depending on when your class starts, you'll use a totally different phrase. Let's practice them together. I'll say the phrase and I want you to repeat it out loud. Ready? Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. Excellent work. You use good morning before 12 p.m., good afternoon between 12 p.m. and 6 p.m., and good evening anytime after 6 p.m. It's also absolutely crucial to know who you're talking to. We have formal greetings and we have informal greetings. If you're talking to your teacher, you should be formal and polite. You can simply say, hello. But if you're talking to a classmate or a friend, you can be a bit more informal and relaxed. You might say, what's up? Try saying both right now. First, formal. Hello. Now, informal. What's up? Very good. So, once you say hello, how do you introduce yourself? It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1, you state your name. Step 2, you tell them it's nice to meet them. Step 3, you ask for their name. Let's try the formula together. I'll go first. Hello, I'm your teacher. Nice to meet you. What's your name? Now it's your turn. Tell me your name using step 1. Wonderful. See, you've just made a new friend. Section 2, essential classroom objects. What is around you? Now that we've greeted each other, let's transition to sitting at our student desk. It's time to identify the physical items you're going to need for learning every single day. These are the everyday objects you'll see in almost every classroom in the entire world. I'm going to read each item very slowly. Please repeat after me. A desk, a chair, a bag, a pen, a pencil, a book, a notebook. Great job, everyone. Your pronunciation is getting better and better for sure. And this brilliantly illustrates what we actually do with those objects. Here we see the physical action of practicing handwriting loops in a notebook. You use your pen or pencil to write in your notebook while sitting in your chair at your desk. Connecting the English words to the real physical objects in front of you helps your brain remember them so much faster. Section 3. Asking helpful classroom questions. Getting help from your teacher. We're shifting gears now to participating in the actual lesson. I really want to reassure you, as a student, it is perfectly okay and actually very much encouraged to ask questions when you need help. Your teacher is there to support you. Now, this right here is a crucial survival phrase for any school environment. If you need to leave the room for a personal break, this is exactly what you ask. Let's practice saying it together. Can I go to the toilet? Let's do it one more time. Can I go to the toilet? Perfect. Never be afraid to ask this. Please look really closely at this phrase. This is perhaps the most important sentence for an English beginner to learn. I'm sorry, I don't understand. Learning a new language is hard work, and sometimes the teacher will speak way too fast or use a word you just don't know. When that happens, take a deep breath, raise your hand, and say, I'm sorry, I don't understand. It's a safe, polite, and completely normal way to get the help you deserve. Sometimes, when we're reading a book together in class, you might lose your place. And you know what? That is completely normal. If you don't know where the class is reading, you can just turn to a friend or raise your hand and ask the teacher, what page are we on? But what happens if you're sitting at your desk and you simply cannot hear the teacher? Remember, it's the teacher's job to help you learn. You should always feel empowered to raise your hand and say, can you speak louder, please? Using the word please makes the request very polite, and I promise you, your teacher will be more than happy to adjust their voice. Section 4, Teacher Instructions and Farewells. Listening and saying goodbye. We're now moving toward the end of our school day. In this section, we're going to point out the common instructions the teacher will give to the class. So the crucial point is that you need to listen closely for these specific directions from your teacher. If the room gets noisy, the teacher might say, "Stop talking and be quiet." If they want to ask a question, they'll say, "Put your hands up." If someone isn't at school, they might look around and ask, "Who is absent today?" Recognizing these everyday phrases is really going to help you follow along smoothly. At the very end of the lesson, the teacher will often praise the class and ask them to pack up their things. They might say something that sounds like, "Great job, everyone! Close your books." Actually, it's "close your books." It's a really common mix-up that always makes me smile. It just means the lesson is over and it's time to put your materials away. Speaking of which, I want to offer my own warm praise to you right now. You have done a truly great job working hard in this lesson today. Let's move to our farewells and see how this builds your vocabulary for leaving the classroom. Just like our greetings, farewells can be totally different depending on the situation. If you're leaving your friends, you can be casual and say, "Bye," or "See you later." A standard, polite way to leave the teacher is simply "Goodbye" or "See you." And if your class is in the evening, you can be time-specific and say, "Good night" or "Have a good night." Well, we've reached the end of our explainer. You've learned how to say hello, identify the objects around you, ask for help, and say a polite goodbye. Now, I want to leave you with a bit of a challenge. How will you use your new English today? Find an opportunity to say hello to someone, or identify a desk or a pen out loud in your own home. But ask yourself this: if mastering just these few simple phrases today changes how you navigate a classroom, what completely new worlds will open up to you as your vocabulary grows tomorrow? Thank you so much for learning with me in this explainer today. You are doing fantastic. See you next time.